So the first thing that I think is important that we should discuss, there is a recent article, or you can see there's recent lot of news about LLM Wiki, which is a core idea presented by Andrej Karpathy, and some thoughts on this, which I think is important enough that we all should just go over these. We go along. Okay, so for context, Andrej Karpathy is one of the most foundational people in AI who has done a lot of work in AI research. And recently, he did covered a topic where he presented his idea of using AI for actual knowledge bases called LLM Wikis. And it was so powerful, the idea itself, that and it was so profound that right after a couple of days after he has presented this, it blew up everywhere on social media, on TikTok, on Twitter as well. And people are now like, this is like one of the most hot topics, and how people are actually using this. So what the idea actually is about, overall, that right now the how we're actually using AI models in ChatGPT or in other tools is basically through a simple concept called RAG, which you all know, which is the retrieval augmented generation, where whenever we ask a question, what it does is that it fetches all of those answers through proper chunks, and then whenever your question is like similar to what the chunk has stored, that is how it gives you the response. But like Karpathy's idea is entirely different in a way that it suggests that instead of using RAG-based retrieval, we should be using a concept where every single file or document or whatever your raw file is should be added into a structure where it's sort of like a Wikipedia of your own personal knowledge. What I mean by that is, so if there's just like a very small comparison between how the traditional RAG models work and how his pattern, what he's suggesting, will work. So the main idea is that whenever using RAG based system, there was no like compound knowledge or accumulation of knowledge. Every time you had to start a chat from like scratch, and every time AI had to like go over all the chunks and then ask a question and then fetch those. It was taking a lot of tokens. It was slow process, and there was not like cross references or any internal patterns that AI could find out from those. But with this LLM pattern, what is happening is that the knowledge compounds over time. Your every source that you queried, it enriches it. And what I did was, so there is a tool called Obsidian, and there is, again, it's very popular these days. What we can do with this is it lets you build sort of like a visual map, or brain dump of your all the ideas or all raw files. So what I did was, this is what it looks like currently in my stack. So I built this on ClaudeCode. What I did was, I have built like a, you can consider as a second brain for my work, like for AnswerAgent itself. I've edited all the transcripts from last 1 year, my one-on-ones, just to give it context of what I was working, what were the details of what the company does, what we all do. So I need to see like this kind of a mind map or a pattern of all the stuff that I have. Now what it this did was that ClaudeCode helped me to break all of this data into specific Wikipedia pages. What I mean by that is, let's say it has this like all of these dots are specific Wikipedia pages. Like you can consider this very structured, categorized, and it also sourced all of it through like which specific transcript this idea is taken from. And the most important part is that not just one Wikipedia, like one specific page, it is also like all of these lines in between all of these dots is actually showing the patterns that were underlying in each of these different topics. So let's say if we discussed about business strategy in one of the transcripts, then all of these purple lines and all of these connections, it's showing me like wherever that specific idea was related to with all the other ideas that we discussed within the company. So this is like super helpful when you try to find these kind of patterns, and underlying relationships between different ideas. And just based on that, now if I go back to the slide itself, so what it does is, now I have like once using the same idea by Karpathy. Like, I do not have to do this every single time wherever I have to like fetch any answers. So to summarize this, the overall architecture is basically it's a three-layer architecture where you have your raw sources like your transcripts, your file system, anything that is just read only. This is your source of truth. And then there is this part which they're calling it as the Wiki part, where this is LLM owned. These are all markdown files. And then we have the schema for your like ClaudeMD or your index.md files. Now, what this center one does is that it reads all of your raw sources, it summarizes it, like makes all of these proper structured files, and then it makes sure like if there are any gaps between different concepts, it would then fill those up with this. So that is how it is like becoming super powerful and popular as well. So the main operations in this would be like when you have raw files, you would ingest it, ask ClaudeCode, or if you're using anything else, like it would simply ingest all of that data. And then when it has processed all of those, we can then go on and query and ask as many questions. Then there is another concept which is for lint, which they are calling it for like checking any knowledge gaps or any health checks that were not previously within the raw source files. And then over time, the all the knowledge that you have added into it, it compounds with every single iteration that you do on this. um, so, yes, I think that is how powerful this is and how we can use it in our everyday lives.
Awesome, Bisma. I read about this a few weeks ago. It's like how to improve your knowledge base like 1000%. Also, well, I will let Max talk about it, but yes, I really love if you can share the link and the slides so I can create mine now. After this meeting, start to create it because it's really important and it's a really good improvement for the AI.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that LLM Wiki. I didn't see that video, but Diego knows I've been exploring with that concept for some time, like having this second brain. Since the beginning, this is something called like knowledge graphs. So we've been looking for what's the perfect way to represent data for LLMs to search. Because even if you go semantic search, it may not fit that. So you need to have some other structure you can follow for this. I'll try that structure you are sharing here. Looks very good. But I wanted to share real quick my screen just to show
Yeah.
like where you can get with these concepts Bisma is sharing here.
Mm.
Once you have a lots and lots of projects in here, and sessions and ClaudeCode and OpenClaw and all the different agents you're talking with, and you start putting all of that through a similar process. So basically, I took the concepts and created skills to run in the background, and using ClaudeCode hooks. Anytime you're compacting or starting a new session or you stop the session, it will automatically sync into your Obsidian brain. So it keeps tracks of everything that I do on it. So you can see this is everything that I have related to OpenClaw, with all the dates for the sessions and whatnot. And I've tested some patterns also. The file structure that I've been using is pretty simple. I have the knowledge where I have decisions, learnings, and patterns. And I played around moving this. But the biggest 10x factor that I got in improving the structure that I was doing was dropping the file structure as much and focusing on tagging and classification. So that way, all the green dots that you see here that are like the bigger ones, more interconnected, are tags that represent different categories of things. Like Next.js is a tag that's pretty big because, of course, we all use it. And in every project, React. Yeah. Now, I don't know, Bisma, if you tried already to start using this from the Cloud Code, like asking, how do you use this then?
Firstly, that is huge, like that what we have just shown. I would definitely request like create a proper tutorial on this. That would be super super helpful. And secondly, you
Yeah.
did mention before answering your question, like before I forget, you did mention that there is maybe some automation that you have set up or something in a way that every session gets automatically added to like your Obsidian files. How have you done this? How is that working? Is this linked to your Claude chats or your overall sessions? How does that work?
Yeah. Actually, let me show you that. So it's all compacted into a single skill at the moment. It's called sync to memory. And what you can do, I basically research all the memory patterns for storing things in ClaudeCode and OpenCloud. So stuff like super memory, which is a SaaS provider of a memory for LLMs, even the OpenCloud memory layer. So they have a pattern they follow, like a hot, warm, and a cold memory. And I added on top of that to be Obsidian is like the coldest of them all, to put it in some way, because it syncs with like if you have several agents deployed in different agent systems or hosting or whatever, Obsidian Remote allows you to sync across all of them, because basically you only need the Obsidian skill and the Obsidian CLI to communicate. And you can see some of this here. And I'll share this and make it open source. I have an agent running on it right now. So after this, I'll share a link to GitHub where you can install this on your ClaudeCode from the plugin system.
Yeah, that would be huge. That was the main blocker in my mind. Like, how do I set this up so every instance is like saved into it? How do I do this? And this is the exact solution I think that you've already sorted out. How long have you been using it?
So I think I started originally exploring the idea like a month ago or a little bit more. And I did a couple first passes where I got the nodes started, and I did some research on what's the best way to create these nodes. I found some patterns, and some people call him, I cannot remember the name, Saltercast or something like that, which is how you define the nodes. And lately, like I left it behind, I couldn't get it into the system. Then I did some more research, and actually the creator of Obsidian already has some documentation on it. So I improved that further. And then that's when I brought in the learnings from OpenClaw that already has like a memory here.
And as per the queries, have you, like from your experience, how did you find like this is way more useful? Let's say for any specific question that you ask for any specific project with this version versus like the old one. I don't know how you were doing that earlier, maybe through chats or something, but like exact from your experience of this 1 month usage, how do you feel that?
It's a great question. I think right now it's more of an exploratory thing where I know I'm saving this and I have this structure. In the day-to-day, I haven't looked into that as much. It's not like OpenClaw, for example, where you see how it's always trying to access the memory. So I'm seeing there's some lacking layer here still where I need to add some rules to always load memory. But I know just looking at how it's structured that I have all my learnings here. With retrospective right now, I think I would clean it up a lot and keep more of the real like unique things about me or my projects versus technology things. I think when you showed yours, it was more brand identity. It was more like concepts that stand, more like the wiki concept that you talked about, which I'd love to explore.